I knew him. He wasn't. I don't know who he was recording for.
Okay.
That's a long time ago.
So we have Vega.
Who else? I know we've made several. I just can't remember right now.
Well, I want you to list the ones that you do remember, sir. List the ones you do remember, so we can get a fraction or a percentage.
Those did we do a music video for? In the last 5 years, that's about it. Did I say another one earlier? No, I think that's about it.
Why don't you list them for me so we have them in one spot in the tape right now, if you could list them for me now.
Suzanne Vega. The Soul Asylum.
How can you do?
Soul Asylum. Victoria Williams. And Branford Marsalis.
Okay.
2 of those were for Sony.
50% of the videos you can remember doing were for Sony, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you were talking about the type of situation that you dreaded most, and you were going to explain that for me. What was the type of situation that occurred that you dreaded most when you landed in Stockholm with Mr. Dillon, sir?
A filming situation in which I'm not clear what my role is.
And it had nothing to do with the subject that Mr. Spitz puts in that paragraph. Amphetamines, keeping Bob Dylan awake all day and night. Had nothing to do with that?
No.
At all, you're positive?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I didn't ever see him take amphetamines, and I didn't really care.
Well, I didn't ask you whether you saw...
But you say, okay, ask me again what you want to know.
Okay. Did you ever have any discussion with anyone else in Mr. Dillon's group at that time when you were filming, in which they told you that Mr. Dillon was using amphetamines on an extensive basis?
I don't believe so. I can't remember it.
Did you keep notes of your film?
No. My film is the only notes I ever had.
Okay. All right, so tell me what else you dreaded most that occurred in Stockholm with Mr. Dillon.
Well, things happening that I can't be present at that I think may be important. And when you have a situation that's very confused, it's hard for me to know when to be present or how long to be present for. In other words, the access is confused. But that was not as important as not being sure. Normally, I make a film, I get access, and then it's up to me to film the film I want to film. In this case, it was not clear that I was to make the film or whether Dylan was to make the film. That's what was the problem. The uncertainty of who was in charge of the film.
Do you know Sarah Lowndes?
Yes.
And when was the last time you spoke with Sarah Lowndes?
The last time? I couldn't remember. A long time ago.
Approximately.
20 years?
20 years ago?
Maybe. I don't think I've seen her for 20 years.
And have you spoken to her since her divorce from Mr. Dillon?
No.
Okay, so you're only
Well, I'm not. When was her divorce? I'm not sure. I may have, but I'm not sure when her divorce was. But it's been so long that I'm sure I haven't. I knew her before she was married. Was when I knew her.
Okay, and do you know where she is today?
No.
Do you know if she's remarried?
No.
Have you spoken to any other member of Mr. Dillon's family in the past 5 years? His children, his...
No.
Anyone? No.
Sally, but she's really not a member, no.
Who is Sally?
Sally Grossman. I mean, she was part of our entourage, that's all.
Is that Albert Grossman's widow?
Yes, yes.
When was the last time you spoke with Sally Grossman?
Maybe 5 years ago.
And does she live in New York?
I don't know. I thought she still lived in Bearsville. I don't know where she lives. I mean, I just saw her in passing somewhere.
Was she on the tour that you filmed Don't Look Back?
Well, I recollect that she was, but maybe I'm confused with the first year. She was with us the first year. I can't remember whether she was with us the second or not.
Excuse me. Let's move on to a different subject. Did you have any litigation with Mr. Dillon?
Yes, I guess you'd call it that.
And what was this subject matter of that litigation, sir?
It had to do with, this is my recollection, you could prove me wrong. It had to do with the distribution of Don't Look Back.
Distribution of what?
Of Don't Look Back, the film, which the company I was then with undertook to distribute. And there was some contention about whether, in fact, the proceeds have been split with Bob Dylan in a fair way. And I don't believe we had ever had a formal contract. We had a handshake. I had a handshake with Albert Grossman, that after I had grossed a certain amount, we would split 50-50. And the accounting got very complicated because we were distributing the film ourselves, and that's a very hard thing to do, and it overwhelmed us. And in fact, the company that was doing this eventually was disbanded. It went bankrupt.
Was the dispute over Don't Look Back and money?
It had to do with money, but it was not just Don't Look Back money. That was the problem. And I felt that I was not being heard by Dylan.
When was this suit, sir?
This was 67, 68, around in there. The problem was that the second film, which I had agreed to be the cameraman on, I had had huge expenses on that and hadn't been reimbursed. But I never was able to get an accounting that I thought was accurate of those two films. Well, from our own company, because the company kind of foundered, and it was really hard to do.
Did you have litigation with Mr. Dillon in the 1980s?
In the 1980s? Was that when we reopened the film? I guess it was in the 1980s. Early 1980? 81, 80?
I'm asking you, sir.
I'm trying to remember.
Was that a separate piece of litigation?
Well, it was connected to the old because we had an agreement about the distribution of the film, and we had some exceptions to that agreement, and so we went ahead and redistributed the film according to our interpretation of the agreement, and it was that came up to be adjudicated, or whatever the word is.
So it was or was not a separate piece of litigation?
Well, it was an outgrowth of the other, but it was a separate litigation, yeah.
Okay, and what was the result of that the 1980s?
I think we ended up with an agreement that we both signed for all further future distribution of the film.
Okay, and is that agreement still in place?
Yes.
So you currently, today, as you testify, you have an agreement with Mr. Dillon?
Well, I believe we do. My lawyer
I'm
would
asking
know.
you,
I
sir.
don't know. I've never seen the agreement. You're asking me things that I don't really
Well, you just-
pay attention to.
Mr. Pennebaker?
I understood that we signed the agreement, and I understand that it's still in place, but I don't know.
That's what I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking
Okay.
your understanding,
Okay.
your
My
knowledge.
understanding is it's still in place.
Okay, so as we talk today, you have an agreement
Yes.
that's still operative with Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
from which you hope to earn money.
Yes.
Right, could I take a quick bathroom break at this point?
Sure.
Okay, and if,
This is the videographer off the record, this time 12:32 p.m. For record, this time 12:48 also. This is the videographer back in the